Here are 8 little hacks that you can do throughout the day that will make your life so much better. The first thing is movement breaks. This can be push-ups, this can be walking, this can be stretching. This especially applies to you if you work at a desk a lot of the day, whether you're in school or you work a job at a desk. It is so important to separate that work with little bursts of movement. It doesn't have to be a full workout, but just having some type of movement in between all that work is so important. And I actually strongly believe that when you do have those little movement breaks throughout the day, your actual work will be more effective. You'll be more productive in that actual work. It's almost like a little energy boost. If you have the chance to do it outside, I would recommend that. If not, it's okay. Anything that gets you moving in some way. Like I said, when you make this a habit, your work will actually start to be more productive and you'll start to get more done in a shorter amount of time, believe it or not. The second thing, watch the sunset or watch the sunrise. This is so important. It's good for our sleep. It's good for our mental health, obviously. And it's just a great way to reconnect ourselves with nature. If you can, I highly recommend getting up early for the sunrise, going on a walk, going on a run, doing something outside during that sunrise. Not only will it tell your body that it's time to start the day, but that period of time where most of the world is still sleeping and you're up outside doing something productive and watching the beautiful sunrise. It's just a beautiful moment and one of the most beautiful things we can do in this life. And then of course the sunset, this is also very important as the sun blinds me. Like I said with the sunrise, this is also a great way of connecting back with the world around you and with nature. And on top of that, it also lets your body know that it is time to wind down and get some sleep soon. So definitely make it part of your routine to see the sunrise and the sunset every day. Number 3, this is more of a mindset one, and it is one that has probably saved me hundreds and hundreds of hours of my life. Whenever you get the urge to pick up your phone, notice that urge, and before you pick it up, ask yourself, am I doing this for a reason? Is there something I actually need to do? Or am I just getting an urge to pick up my phone and get a quick hit of dopamine? And most of the time, at least for me, I was picking it up for no reason at all. Now that I'm not getting blinded by the sun as much, as I was saying, when you do get that urge to pick up the phone, the most important thing is to notice it. Pay attention for it, because truthfully, it happens so much. And even when I started paying attention for that urge and I started to notice it a little bit, there are so many times where by the time I notice, I'm already on Instagram scrolling through Reels. So make it a habit to at least notice that urge before you go on your phone and ask yourself, why am I getting this urge and why am I about to go on my phone? Because most of the time you'll realize that you have no fucking clue. All right, number 4, eat frozen fruit. This is actually such a simple thing that has been a huge game changer for me, and I know it can help so many people out there. I have a huge sweet tooth, and so rather than fighting it so much, the biggest thing I've found is eating frozen fruit. I will literally get a giant bag of frozen blueberries, get a spoon, and eat out of it like it's cereal. And the good thing is, even if I were to eat the whole bag, it is still so little calories compared to eating something like cookies or anything processed. And if you're trying to lose weight but struggle with a sweet tooth, this is huge. This is honestly one of the most influential things that can help you on that process. Highly recommend frozen fruit. Number 5 is spend at least 5 minutes a day in silence, without your phone, without any distractions, without anything to do. This sounds like torture, but it is one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself. And if it does sound like torture to you, that is a clear sign that you should start doing this. It is a sign that you are not comfortable sitting with your own thoughts. And that's okay, because most of us aren't. I mean, we live in a world where boredom is no longer a thing. You get bored, you instantly can pull out your phone and watch the funniest videos on the internet for hours upon hours. So sitting with your own thoughts in silence is a lost skill. Learning who you really are and what you want to do in this life and what you truly believe in and what your values are is something that has been lost because we no longer have time to sit with ourselves and think about it. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. You're going to face some challenges when you sit there with yourself with nothing to do. You're going to face some negative thoughts. But that is so important that we do that, and it's so important that we face those thoughts. We learn these things about ourselves that we didn't even know because we were ignoring our own mind. This one's super easy to do. Take 5 minutes and do nothing, but really make sure you're doing nothing. Don't have your phone with you. Don't have any activities to do, anything to fidget with. Truly get as close to nothing as possible. Like I said, it's going to be very hard at first, but as you do it more, you're going to get more comfortable with yourself. You're going to get more comfortable with who you are and what you believe in, and you're going to get way more clarity into what you want to do with this life. Number 6 is another mental thing, and it's noticing every time you say a filler word, like but, stuff like that. This is something I still struggle with, and if you scroll through my videos, you will probably see me saying a lot of filler words. Communicating to a camera like this and doing these talking head type of videos is something that has improved my communication so much, And if you can't tell, it still needs a lot of work. But from where I started to where I am now, it is truly black and white. And I still have so much more progress to make. But every little repetition of noticing when I'm about to say a filler word, or sitting down and talking to the camera, or being truly mindful while talking to a friend or a family member, it makes me a better communicator. And it's something that I think everyone should practice. You could have the most wisdom in the world, the most amazing ideas and the most amazing thoughts, but if you are not able to communicate them well, no one will care. And it's not fair at all, but it is the simple truth of human nature. And if you learn how to connect this skill with number 5, learning who you are and being completely aware of your beliefs and your thoughts, and you're able to communicate those thoughts in a way that is exciting, that is interesting to other people, there is not much that you can't do in this world. And a huge step to getting there is noticing those filler words and cutting them out. Obviously, don't be a robot. I think if you said no filler words at all, that would be kind of weird. But for a lot of people, it becomes a habit to say things like. And I'm a victim of this myself. I constantly say when I'm thinking between thoughts. I often say a lot in between my sentences for no apparent reason except to fill the silence. And it's hard. Once you start being aware of the filler words and you start noticing them more, you'll realize how much you say them. If you can learn how to overcome that, you will be ahead of 99% of the world at communicating, and that is such an important skill to have. Number 7 is doing your work outside. We are humans. We are naturally meant to be outside in nature. And unfortunately, in the modern world, it has become normal to sit inside 4 walls all day and stare at a screen to do work or to do school, or just to stare at a screen. This is one of the main culprits of depression and anxiety. If you have depression or you have anxiety, ask yourself, how often am I going outside? Of course, you're gonna feel like shit when you haven't been outside in the real world for an extended period of time. We are literally made to be outside, and yet it is normal in society to sit in an office all day, to sit in a classroom all day, and to do everything inside. And I get it, there are some times where it's not possible to work outside. I live in Illinois, so I understand. But if you are not taking every opportunity you get to do your work outside, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Also, this applies to anything: reading, journaling, any habit that you have that you do on a daily basis. If you have the opportunity to do it outside, do it outside. You'll feel so much better. You'll probably be more productive, and it's just so much better for us in so many ways that I can't even cover in this video. And the final little thing that will make your life so much better is making it a priority to compliment a stranger every day or do something nice for someone every day without expecting something in return. When's the last time you received a compliment from a stranger? It's probably been a while, but I bet you remember it. Compliments go such a long way, even if it's something simple. The world needs more kindness. It needs more human interaction, more compliments, more friendliness. And it's harder these days. You go outside and most people are staring down at their phone. So please make it an effort to get out of your comfort zone a little bit every day and make someone else's day better. It's also a great way to meet people. Again, don't go into it expecting to make a new friend or to get a number or something like that. But the only way you're gonna get those things is if you get out of your comfort zone and you talk to a stranger and you tell them what's on your mind. And also be confident when you're giving those compliments. There's gonna be some people that wave you off or that give you a dirty look or something. But who cares? I promise you 99% of people won't do that. And if you do get the unlucky soul that had a bad reaction, just know that you did your best to try to brighten up their day. And most likely you did, even if they didn't show it to your face. All right, that is everything. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you didn't already, I would highly recommend writing all of these 8 things down and actually committing to doing them every day. And you don't have to jump into doing everything at once. If you want to take it one at a time, that is perfectly fine. Just make sure this isn't another video that you just watch and don't actually act. Because when you actually start to implement these things into your life and you start to see the positive effects it has on your life, that is an unbeatable feeling. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got value from this video, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.